Hey there, and welcome to DollMotion, the channel where we use old unwanted dolls and turn them into new characters for a stop-motion animated series. In this video, we're going to make the most requested Divus character, me, in doll form. Yes, this repaint will give us a mini Natalie. And this video will also be a face reveal. So stick to the end for a Q&A. But which animal should I use to represent me? I could choose my favorite animal, which is a cat, but we already have a lot of cats. And my second choice is a fox, but again, we have enough of those. So I did an online test to see what my spirit animal is, and the results are a mouse. Well, seeing I'm pretty short in length, I think this is a fine choice. So let's begin and make, me in doll form. If you spotted the big mouse plush in my previous repaint video, then you found the hint. This video will have multiple hints, so good luck finding them. For this repaint, we're going to use a Monster High Twyla hat. And this Obitsu 24 cm body with L bust. The body comes with a few standard hands, but you can upgrade the hand option with this pack. So let's add these as well. Mice are known for their big ears, so off go the human ears. They can go to my ear collection. Funny enough, I actually have pretty small ears in real life. Oh, and that brings me to something very important to mention. I am 31 in real life, so that means my Divus Persona will be a full-grown character with many animal features. Which is not a problem to make. But would you still recognize my face in the doll after all those animal features? So I decided to make my Divus character younger, but keep the human features correct to my current age. Now that's decided, let's trace the ears on the hat and take them off. For the hair, I'm going to use something very interesting. My own hair. I've saved this chunk of hair for many years, with not really a purpose in mind. Now that I'm making a doll of myself, I think I found a purpose. But weirdly enough, it's not really the right color. My hair in real life is light at the tips and dark at the top, so I'm going to mix it with this saran hair for the perfect color. And something I also have in real life are two white grayish streaks at my temples. I know many people try to hide their grey hair, but I kinda like my streaks. This nylon hair is the okay color, but the texture is way too stiff. So let's make our own grey hair. We take a hank of white saran hair and smear it into pan pastels. And then we wash it with soap and water. And now we have our own grey hair. Although I saved a big chunk of my own hair, it will never be enough to fill the whole head by rerouting. So we have to think smart. My hairstyle is pretty easy, it's just a big part in the middle. So we're going to reroute that part to make the hairstyle. And now the hat has a very long mohawk, we can secure it with contact glue. And when the glue is dry, we can boil wash it. Oh, it doesn't really work on human hair. But I think it will still look great when we glue the rest of the hair in weft form. But before we do that, let's work on the ears. First we paint them the right color, and now for some fluff, which we make out of yarn. First some fabric glue, and then we cover it with the fluff. And now for the tail. I had a lot of questions if the axolotl tail I made with air clay and Mod Podge will hold up. Well, because it was sealed in a sort of capsule of Mod Podge, it will hold up no problem. But what if we only use a few layers? Well, let's find out. We cover 2 wires with bandage tape and 1 with air clay. Let it fully dry. And now we're going to mix Mod Podge with grey paint. I covered each tail with 6 layers of Mod Podge. The tail I made for Mini-Me without air clay will work perfect. The air clay one, well, it works better than without Mod Podge, but it will still give some lines when you bend it. So it's important to give a tail a 50-50 ratio of Mod Podge and air clay to make it flexible and unbreakable. Well, that was it for our little experiment. The tail can be secured into the body. I will be gluing the hair after the face up, but it's good to have the hair wefts done. So we take a plastic bag and carefully glue every single hair without wasting any. Although Twyla's face mold comes very close to my face, the nose needs a small adjustment. And of course we're making a mouse, so 2 small cute teeth. When the epoxy is dry, we can give the small sand down for a smoother transition. Okay, the hair is all shielded off. It's probably good to say at this point my head is not purple in real life. So we're going to match it with the body color. I first use a primer and after that a few layers of spray paint. The spray paint can be a bit sticky on a vinyl doll head, so I like to fix this with a few layers of matte varnish and a layer of Mr. Super Clear. Jumping into the face up, we start by sketching in the face with a watercolor pencil. This is the state it's best to correct any mistakes. When you have a sketch you are okay with, you can fill it in with acrylic paint. My eye color is a mix of brown and green. I think people describe it as hazel. I'm actually looking at myself off screen into the reflection of my lamp to get my face features right. Funny enough, I never drew eyelids like this before. Interesting, I found a new way to draw eyelids from my own face. Although I'm trying to tackle this custom as any other custom, it's very confronting to make yourself into a doll. Because, well, a doll is usually a human in perfect form. So you don't want to come off as vain when you draw a pretty face. But you also don't want to make like, well, an ugly doll. So you need to find a balance between what's doll-like and what's recognizable for that person. Small imperfections like birthmarks can help. And for me it's also a bit of insomnia. When you're happy with the face up, seal it in with Mr. Super Clear. I am still into a glittery mood, So with a small drop I attach a glitter with tacky glue. So shiny. Good, the ears can finally be placed on the head. I do this with super glue. Time to glue on the hair wefts. First, paint the head sculpt the same color as the hair. And now glue on the wefts one by one. Fun fact, I was actually a blonde as a child. Now that the hair is drying, let's work on the outfit. Looking to my clothes, I choose this outfit to represent my style. A simple jeans, a black sweater, a motor jacket, a scarf and these shoes. Wait, I think I have these shoes somewhere in my doll shoebox. Well, they're not the right color, but almost the same mold. Only a little repaint and voila! So we got a pair of fans. Next up is the black sweater. Funny enough, the fabric I'm using is from an old shirt I used to wear. This zipper was made out of small drops of acrylic paint. For the jeans, I'm going to use this pants that came with a Incredible World doll. They're almost a good fit, but they need some adjustments at the waist, legs, and the velcro needs to be replaced with a snap, so we have a hole for the tail. And then we have the motor jacket. To make the jacket in miniature, I'm using the same pattern I used to make Julie's jacket, but with some heavy alternations. I had to use 3 colors of fake leather. The white color comes from an old worn out IKEA chair. I stripped off the coating. Yeah, that's also a way to recycle. After 2 days of work, we got my jacket in miniature form. Here is it next to Julie's jacket for a comparison. And now for the scarf. I took a piece of green fabric and drew in the detail with a pen. Okay, we got the doll and we have the outfit. I think Mini-Me needs some accessories. Things that represent my favorite hobbies. The first one being, well, doll repainting. Ooh, yes! We can make a Mini Alex and Mini Paris doll. To make them, I'm going to use these Power Ranger figures from the 90s. I used to play with them when I was 5 years old. And somehow they ended up with my doll miniatures. But they will be perfect to cast a mold. Push them in and wait 10 minutes. And we have a mold. Now we can fill in the mold with epoxy clay. Wait a few hours until the clay is hard but still soft to alter. Trim the edges and fill in the rest with epoxy sculpt. I'm adding a doll stand so they can stand on their own. Some paint and here we have Mini Alex and Mini Pyrrhus. For my second hobby, I'm going to make a Nintendo Switch. I'm using this leftover sculpting block for my Deus Statues project. By the way, a mini Deus Statues making of exclusive video will be up after Divus episode 15. I'm adding a few detail and epoxy sculpt. I like to play Animal Crossing at the moment, so I sketched out a screenshot and painted in with acrylic paint. A small layer of high gloss, and here we have a Nintendo Switch. Okay, let's go back to Mini-Me for the finishing touches. My hair is pretty long in real life, so it only needs a small trim. At this point, she looks more like a human cosplaying an animal and not as a Divus character. But that can easily be fixed by adding some fur at the ears and whiskers. Yes, much better. I glossed up the nose, the lips, the eye pupils with a high gloss varnish for a lively feel. I'm using my real life hair gel to lay my mini-me's hair a bit more flat. Oh, here's a small tip. If you have a doll with long sleeves and you want to put on a jacket, using elastics can help prevent the sleeves from going up. And with this, Mini Natalie is done. Hey there and welcome to DollMotion. Today we're going to customize a human doll. I think it's vintage, but who cares? Let's saw the body up.
Hey.
Well, that was an interesting doll to make. And if you would like to see my mini-me in action, you should really watch the Divus series. A link is at the end of this video and in the description box. Also, if you would like to watch more early access RePaint videos, I have many available on Patreon and YouTube memberships. Like the newest, Wolfpack, where you can watch the making of the characters Amarak and Wilk Lupus. So check it out! It would really help the channel to make new RePaint videos and new Divus episodes. Oh, before we end the video, I still want to answer a few of your questions you left for the question of the day. I can't answer them all, but I will try to answer multiple questions that were similar. So here we go. When did you decide that you wanted to do stop motion? When I saw the making of A Nightmare Before Christmas. When and what made you decide you wanted to get into doll customization? Well, it started when I was working on a graduation project named Moose Lord. I made this animation series, which was also a virtual band and would also have its own YouTube channel. I did get my degree in animation because of it, but the series kind of failed, or well, never took off. But in the meantime, Bart showed me this image he found on Reddit, and I got so inspired by it. I just want to do nothing else than customize dolls. I think because of Moose Lord, I was still into making a YouTube channel, so I started making tutorials using the music Bart made for Moose Lord. And I'm still making tutorials now. Do you have any tips for someone just starting with doll customizing? Don't be afraid to experiment with materials or be afraid to fail. It's best to buy a second-hand doll or a doll you don't want anymore. And just try something or anything. Just to learn to work with the materials. You can always wipe it off with acetone. Where did your inspiration for the Divus story come from? Did you see something that inspired you, or was it an idea that came from somewhere and you ran with it? As you know, the Divus series started out as a small scene on the end of a RePaint video, more to demonstrate the movement of a doll. But the scenes got a narrative and pretty popular. I think the series became the Divus series when I made Volpini. I had to find a connection between her and her brother Alex, because, well, they don't really look like each other. By taking some elements from the Musklord series, I made a plot for the Divus series. And yes, I know how the story is going to end. Does Pokemon exist in the Divus universe? As the games and franchise, yes. But the characters, no. The stop-motion adventures with red, green and blue are in a different universe. What's an animal you wouldn't like to try and customize? I'm not saying these animals don't exist in the Divus universe, but some animals don't really look great in the design choice I have for my characters. I always think of a human first and then I add animal features. But some animals like a snake or an elephant, insects, a spider, won't really work in this design, so they won't get a Divus doll by me. You make amazing giveaway costumes. Has there ever been a time you wanted to keep one or make a duplicate of it for yourself? To keep one, no. But I did want to make a duplicate of a doll once. But then I realized, making a doll again isn't that much fun as making a new character. And well, that was it for the Q&A. I would like to thank everyone for their amazing support on Patreon or YouTube membership. Thank you so much. You really make this channel possible. I would also like to thank my patrons of honor, Kenamaru, and everyone else on Patreon and YouTube memberships. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!